I'm Alex with Redbeard Sailing, and today I'm going to show you what to do in the unfortunate event that you need to put your boat away. So you finish sailing, and it's time to put your boat away, specifically your Happy Cat. Now this will work for the Happy Cat Neo, the Evolution, and the Hurricane. But let's dive right into the very, very sad, tragic events of going home for the day. So first thing I like to do, once you've beached the boat, make sure you point the boat into the wind. You will probably already have furled away your jib, but just to go over that here, you release your jib sheet. Keep a little bit of tension, doesn't have to be a lot, but just keep a little bit of tension on there. Doesn't matter which of the furler lines that you pull, any of them will work. And then I'm just gonna get it slightly furled just like that. And then again, we cleat this in the jib cleat. Now that that sail area is put away and is no longer a liability on land, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the mainsail down. So first I'm going to do is release our Cunningham, which is releasing that and then pulling that all the way through. Done. Wow. Step 1.5 done. All right, next we're going to, and you don't want your main sheet cleated on land. I had that for our funny little intro. So we're going to take that off right there, and then it's going to be time to bring this down. Now, to kind of give myself a little bit better access, I am going to undo the trampoline to give me better access to everything I need to take apart, including getting this mainsail down. So now that I have all them done, it takes but just a couple seconds. We're going to just throw that up here so that I have some sure footing. Now I'm going to pull my halyard out of the halyard pocket. The red one is your main halyard. I'm going to uncleat it, all loosey-goosey now. We're going to bring this down. Again, we're pointed into the wind, so this sail is going to act very similarly to how it's acting here in our extreme headwind here in the warehouse. So I leave the Cunningham block just right on the foot of the sail, and I'm just going to roll this as it comes down. Doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be all that tight because you can always tighten it up later. If you keep one hand on the main halyard, it will make it a little bit easier. And you just want to bring it down a little bit at a time, nice and slow, or fast. I haven't seen this video yet, so we're going to roll it up as it comes down. Roll, roll, roll. Roll, roll, roll. How boring. Okay, now we're here at the head. I'm going to take the halyard off. And I don't leave the halyard on the boat anyway, but if you want to just make sure that the mast doesn't separate while you're bringing it down, you're going to clip it right here on the Cunningham cleat and then cleat it back where it was. Now, you can take this batten out. Absolutely. Be my guest, take it out. That is not my cup of tea, so what I do is I fold it over so that it is parallel to the next down batten. And then I'm going to roll this guy up just like this. I'm going to go get my sail bag, and I'm going to put this away. Like I said, I want to have my sails completely put away, all of my liabilities. I don't want to look up, have my boat into the bags, and go, I'm pretty sure there were 2 sails when I started. And then you look down the beach and there's your mainsail flying away. That's no good. So what we're gonna do, and again, another key tip is we've got the luff, which is the bolt rope. We have the battens, and if you see the battens, the batten ends of the sail, or the leech of the sail, is not even all the way across. You got lots of these catch points. It's gonna come in just a second when we take the jib down. We're just going to shove it in like that. Now we're going to take the jib down. Again, we want to get rid of all of our sails first. I'm going to undo my solo sailing overhand knot. Pull these through. Now I'm going to uncleat the furler. I'm going to get out from in the middle of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out which way I want to pull it, because I'm going to use the furler to wrap my line, because it's so much easier that way. And so I just hold the line, a little bit of tension, I mean very light tension, until I get to about here, and then I take my fingers, my thumb under to create a little loop, just like this, and then I'm going to pass these up through that loop and snug it tight. I'm going to unclip my furler line right here, just undo this carabiner from right here. And then you can stow this. You don't even have to stow it if you don't want to, but being the person that I am, let's stow it. Nothing crazy. Again, did literally nothing special there. You could also do nothing. Perfectly fine. I'm going to make sure that there's no knots in this. And now I'm going to take one wrap around my hand here to give myself a little bit of an up pull. And then I'm going to take my left hand here. Again, I'm right-handed. And I'm just going to push down until it releases. And then I'm just going to pull it up so that it's resting on this. And now you kind of have to keep the line up at an angle like this. This is your working forestay, so it's good that they made it nice and secure, but you can't just whip it out there. You're going to have to take it down just like this. Take it down completely, just like that. I'm going to pull this back towards me here because I want to unclip this. And then how I stow this, because I leave this jib halyard on the mast, so I'm just going to tie a nice little bowl in here. With any luck, I'll get it right on the first try. You guys will really believe me that I can sail. Anyway, so you tie a nice little bowl in there, clip it back to itself, and now I can forget about it. It doesn't even exist anymore in my world. All right, so now we're going to come down here and we're just going to unclip the furler from the bowsprit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the furler and the top drum for the furler to each other, and then I'm going to kind of just make a meet in the middle here. And then just keeping my middle. Now you'll see why we wanted that. We didn't want all those little catch points on the mainsail. Now I'm just going to put this in and I'm going to slide this in alongside the mainsail. And this will all fit beautifully. Now I am going to move this bag out of the way because it is fully packed and nothing else goes inside of it. All right, easy enough, right? Right, okay. Now we're going to take the mast down. It seems crazy that we're there already, but there's where we are. I'm going to put a little bit of tension on this blue line here. I'm just going to make sure that I have a good grip of it. And then with my right hand, I'm going to unclip this. The mast is now being supported by my left hand. So I'm just going to move with it as I get closer to the boat. I'm going to step up onto the trampoline, again pulling out with this line, and now that I have my hand on it and secure here, I can just hand over hand walk it back. If you have two people, you could hand it to somebody. Otherwise, if you're alone, you can step down. And then be careful that as you get to a little bit past, parallel to the ground, that step is going to pop out just like that. So just be mindful of it. It's not a very heavy mast, but it's something that you just want to be a little bit mindful of as it happens. Now I'm going to start undoing the rigging, the steel, the wire rigging for the mast. I'm just going to undo that shackle, pull them off, and put them together. You can put that right on the trampoline. Hopefully you won't forget it and lose it. Again, I forget to put them on all the time, so we're lucky that it's even here. Just like that. Easy peasy. Throw that with the other one. Now, I like to stow these riggings together. So I'm going to get this completely free of everything else. I start with my hand kind of pinching the two wires together, again, just holding it. I'm going to take both of my right hand here, I'm going to take both wires, and I'm going to curl them kind of away from me. Kind of grip and then curl away. Grip and curl away. Grip and curl away. Grip and curl away. Now, when you're left with, I don't know, we would just say that's about 2 feet. You're going to just pass this around. Now, in order for it to properly hold, you have to get 3 wraps. You have to go through the center 3 times. In order for, if you've got extra, great. You can go a 4th time if you really want, but 3 times, it'll hold. Now, if you remember, we did the jib sheet and we attached it to itself. That can't go possibly wrong, right? See, slowing us down. One little kink. Anyway, now what I do here is, it literally doesn't have to be anything special. We're just going to curl these in. I did have these attached. I'm going to reattach them. It was only unattached, but basically it's just a bowl in there that we tied. Once you have about, I don't know, 2.5 feet, feel comfortable about it, you could really kind of go all the way through and just take this little bit here, grab it backwards with your hand, and make a loop, and pull it on. And I'll do it one more time. That's now secure. It's not going to come undone. Same thing here. I'm going to do the same thing with these metal wires. Get this out of my way. Okay. Bring these together. Get all of the weird twirls out of it. And then again, I'm going to rotate away from me, like pinch, and then rotate away. And then look, I only got 2 curls out of it until I'm at the length that I really need to be to do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at that, it looks like artwork. A little sailing wreath. All right, just to get this out of our way and clean up the trampoline, I'm gonna pull this off. And this off, this is just your main sheet. They just clip back together, no biggie. And then I'll throw this off to the side here. We'll get to that in a minute with the rigging bag. All right, I do not leave the main halyard on the mast. So we did clip that down here at the foot. We're gonna unclip that, and then I'm just gonna start at the shackle, and I'm just gonna pull it and just create. Again, this is kind of like the wires where I'm kind of twisting away from me, and it's laying it into a nice little loop. You don't want to wrap this around your elbow. You'll start to twist there's a rope on the inside and a rope on the outside. If you do that twisting around your elbow thing, you'll end up twisting the inside rope disproportionately to the outside. I don't know. Old people told me not to do it that way. I believe them because they're much better at sailing than me. Then to stow this, I just grab the handful of the one tip. I don't know, I've got maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and I go around tight once, and then I go back across it to make an X, and then just continue to wrap down. So you went back up once and then down the rest of the way, and then similar to how we did the jib is I'll get my finger caught when I got a couple inches left to give myself a loop, and then you just put it underneath to kind of override it to keep it nice and stowed. I'm going to put that right there with the main sheet, and then we're kind of ready to take this mast apart, and by kind of ready I mean we're ready to take the mast apart. So the first section is just going to come off just like that, and I sit it on the trampoline while I do this because I just bring the mast closer to me. Now the one thing we didn't stow was the forestay, but super simple. We're going to do that right now that I have this part of the mast nice and short. So we're going to start again right here, leave ourselves just a little bit of extra rope here at the end, line, cordage, whatever you want to call it. Just like this, right? I'm going to take this bundle. I'm going to create my little piece here. And then I'm going to take a couple bites just like that. And then there's our 3 mast sections. And we have somebody ringing the doorbell, so we're going to cut right here, and we'll be right back. All right, so hopefully I didn't jump too far one side or the other, but the joys of it's me that sails the boats and sells the boats and ships the boats, and we've got it all, so sometimes we've got to answer the door. All right, so we're just gonna move the mast sections off to the side here. Essentially, we wanna just get a pile of parts, and then we put the pile of parts into the bag. So that's the goal. Well, let's move the mast sections out of the way here. Now that this is all stowed. Perfect. All right, next is gonna be this front deck here, or this front crossbar, which is an option for the Neo, but I think it's a necessary one. So we're just gonna undo this strap. You don't have to do anything crazy other than you can lift up on it. You could put it on your knee, like I did in the assembly video, to just decrease some of the tension. But once you've got it pretty well started, you can just hold this line and just push up on that tab, and then this will all come off. Very, very simple. Now, I don't like losing this thing, so what I do is I just put it through here and then back to itself. And as long as you remember your bowsprit, if you forgot your bowsprit, you're not worried about the strap, that's for sure. All right, so now this is real easy. You just pull this towards you. I just kind of pinch the bows if you still have air in them. I pinch the bows with my knees. It keeps the boat from moving. Pinch the bows with the knees, and then I push down on this tab, and then I push until it's over it. And then again, same thing right here. I push down on this tab and then push this back, then that's done. And then what I do here is I roll this up around here. Just like that. And we'll sit this off to the side as well. All right, I'm going to uncleat these two lines. I'm going to unclip these two carabiners from the uphaul and downhaul. And then I'll lift up the bow of the boat a little bit just to get this unstuck from there. And then once that's done, these shackles are super easy to undo. And you'll leave the shackles on the sprit. And now our bowsprit is free. We're gonna sit this next to all of our other stuff. Now, this is kind of about, I typically like to do one of them and then I'll do the other one once I press the buttons, but you can start to deflate the hulls at this point. But for this centerboard, you're gonna pull on this ring and that's gonna release it and then just clip it back together. Same thing over here. I'm gonna pull it, it's gonna release it, and then you just put it back together. And then this is less problematic if you lose the hardware, but it's always good not to. So as you take this off, let it fall into your hand, put it on the trampoline. And then same thing here. Is I'm gonna use my thumb to undo it. Oh geez, just lost that, it's gone forever. No, I'm just joking, it's right here. Pull those guys out, and then this will just come out nice and easy. And then be sure to put these back so that they don't get lost. Again, my little C grip here. And you just want these to be on snug enough that they don't back out while you're traveling or transporting or anything crazy like that. And then we're going to take this and put it with all of our other metal bits that are awaiting a bag. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to let the air out of the hulls, and that's to twist this, take it off, and then to deflate, I'm going to push this in and then turn it a quarter to either direction. And that'll stay open. I'm going to do it to both hulls. Just like that. Now while this is going, this is where you can kind of get into taking this all apart. We're going to take the rudder off, which is simple. You've got this little thumb ring here. So you kind of push your thumb onto this thing here to separate it, and off it comes. And then this little blue tab right here, which you can take the tiller out first, which is fairly easy with this little push pin. I say it's fairly easy, but mine clearly is a little drunk. There we go. Oh, I know why it's so hard, because it's still attached. Silly me. Anyway, so we'll take the tiller out. Clip that back together. And then the rudder's real easy. You just push this blue tab in and lift up on the rudder. You can go right here. And then this is just like the centerboard, where maybe you can have one hand underneath. Now, if you'll notice, only one washer came off with it. Sometimes that likes to grab the boat. And off that comes, and then stow it away. Oh, gone forever. Here we go. Maybe assemble this upside down so it's not gone forever. Or buy extras. All right. I have my two little shroud protectors here on the trampoline that need to go away. I'm going to put these with my halyards because that's the bag that they'll go into. I actually have, the boat comes with this nice little drawstring rigging bag. It had a lot more rigging in it, like all the metal wiring and such. But all I store in it now is the halyard, the shroud protectors, and the main sheet. Not the shroud, oh my goodness. The main halyard, the main sheet, and then those shroud protectors. And that can go right there. Now, to get these off, you could pull them off, you could push them off, you can do anything you want. I like to do it a specific way. I take my hand just like this. Nice big open hand, little L, and I just push from the back side. And then, you know, on the other side, you can't, it's loud. You can use the other hand. That'll push, that'll push. And then you can just pull from here and let the boat sit. Now you kind of want it to sit like this with the seams on the tops and the bottoms. I find that they lay on top of each other and roll up nicely together like that. We're going to stand this guy up. We're going to pull these completely out. Pull this completely out. We're going to unbuckle. You don't have to loosen them ahead of time. Completely out. Now you want to lift this up as evenly as possible. See how it came out on one side, not the other? It means it's not going to come out. The other side's going to get jackknifed in there and it's not going to go well. Now I just keep one hand on this so that it doesn't fly away. Hold this kind of up a little bit. And then off that comes. And then same thing over here, straight up. And then you can let go of the trampoline because it's not connected anymore. And then this goes to the top side. You just want to pull this bolt rope out kind of the way that it came. Should come out pretty easily. If you're in salty areas, I might recommend, you know, throwing some McLube or something in here just to make it a little bit easier. But otherwise, it should be pretty easy. It doesn't really matter because it's not going to stay folded anyway. All right, now for these, I coil these wires up individually, but similar to our rigging, make a loop, make a loop, make a loop. It's probably okay. Make a loop, and then again, we want to go around 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, probably get a 4th one. There we go. Same thing over here. Loop, 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 and 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And that's it for taking the boat apart. Next is putting it into the bags. I haven't read the owner's manual in a long time, so as far as how they say to pack it away, I don't know. But I'm just going to show you my way. So I'm going to get 1 bag. Actually, I do 2 bags at the same time because I'm pretty sure the instructions in the manual say, put the parts into the bags evenly. So that's what we're going to do. We got our 2 bags. We got our 2 bags open, and we start nice and easy with the big pieces. We're going to go with this one, just like that. See, there's tons of room in these bags. We're going to get the stern section here, do the same thing, but this goes in the other bag. Just like that. And you want these wires, you don't want these to get pinched or anything, so just laying them flat on the ground right there is perfect. A foil goes into each bag, and for those that don't know, this is a foil. So your rudder, and then your centerboard, just like that. And you can do the frame sections. So there's 2 of those, so we can go 1, 2, just like that. Now we're going to go bowsprit. Can go into this one. And then the front crossbar, again, optional. It does fit nicely into the bag, just like that. Now we have the 3 mast sections. Does not matter which one you go with. Just like that. Just like that. Now the top section, which has always got a lot of extra baggage. Just put that guy right there with all of its extra baggage. We've got a tiller. We've got the rudder support, which all should fit just fine. Kind of how you can fit it in there. We have the rigging bag, which can just fit in there. And then we have the main trampoline, which will fit into the bag that looks less full, just like that. Pull this over. I like my zippers to be in the middle for no reason at all, other than I can find them. I don't feel silly like, oh, I think it's at the other end. Now, these red straps with these buckles, these are compression straps. So these are designed to, instead of putting padding between the pieces so that they don't rub up against each other, it's to squeeze the life out of them so they can't rub up against each other. And I will say it works pretty good. Same thing with this. You can see there's tons of room. I could easily fold these hulls up and put them inside of these bags if I was pressed for space. But here at the Redbeard Sailing headquarters, we have space. So, same thing here. Compression strap, make it a little bit looser. And then we make it a lot tighter. All right, so now I've got these two. I'm gonna put these just like that. Here's our sail bag. And then our hulls, what we're gonna do with that is we're gonna match them up to get each other. So, is it better for me to do that one or this one? Farther away. So we're gonna take this one, move it to here. And we're flipping it over so that our bows match. Kind of just how it goes onto the boat. And you'll see I didn't vacuum any air out or anything like that. I didn't do any special folds. It's the complicated thing. Here we go. Hiya. Now, you can fold these up smaller if you need to, or if you buy either the Grabner bag, or I've got some roll-on air dry bags that these fit into nicely. But basically just an oversized dry bag would work to fit the hulls. But we're just gonna fold and roll. And this has been working for me quite well. And you just want to kind of try and keep it on top of its friend here so they don't get too wide. And you'll see we're starting to get a little bit big. Which is okay. So now we're just going to squeeze the air out. No vacuuming needed, no equipment needed. I just find this to be the easiest way to do it. Roll. As a fun fact, this bag right here actually has a Grabner canoe, same manufacturer, made out of the same material. Built in 1996. Give you an idea of how long you can expect this boat to last you. And for the record, I haven't had any issues over the end of season storing your hulls folded. So I know that there's a blurb in the owner's manual about that, but I don't think it's a big deal. And then this is how I fold it. There's your hulls, your sails, and your two frame pieces. Only a few minutes ago, this was a 14-foot sailboat that was ready to go sailing. And unfortunately, our sailing day has come to the end. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you out. Again, a lot of these instructions, almost all of them, would apply to the Hurricane and the Evolution as well. And we'll catch you next time. Check us out on redbeardsailing.com. Thanks.